Cubits were invented by God as a picture of what's in heaven.
So somewhere along the way, the 144,000 men that will be teaching on earth will fall into this place because that is a perfect cube.
That's exactly right. The 144,000
Virgin
Messianic
men.
Jewish virgin preachers
12,000 by 12,000.
will fall into one of these gates, or 12,000 per gate. He measured its wall 144 cubits, which is 12 by 12
by 12
cubits. 12 by 12. 12 times 12 is 144. And the material of the wall was yashte, and the city was pure gold, like clear glass. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Gold isn't clear.
Or maybe they're talking about shining, like...
Not on earth it is.
It's not.
Not on earth.
Remember, all the elements have melted.
Well,
All the
how
elements
be
will
clear.
melt. Well,
Like glass.
I'm going to explain it. All the elements will melt. All the elements melt with intense heat. It says in 1 Peter chapter 3. Yes.
Right.
Yes, yes.
All the elements are going to melt when it talks about the day of the Lord. Well, this is not real. This is spiritual. I don't know what it is, but it looks like gold as pure glass. If you take all the impurities out of any stone, any gem, whatever, you end up with something like stained glass, which is like glass. You can see through it, but it's got color. Beryl and carborundum and all the other emerald and sapphire. The only thing that makes them beryl or sapphire or emerald is the element
Itself.
that's in it. And there's like they've got it broken down to the chemical element, you know, like NaCl2 or whatever. They can tell you what makes beryl, what makes sapphire, what makes ruby.
You know what's in it,
So
doesn't
when
it?
you take away all the impurities of all the elements that are created, that have been created, you're left with something else. A new heaven and a new earth, new elements. That all the elements on earth are a picture of. I don't know what that means. I can tell you what the picture is, but I can't tell you what the reality is. So somehow, gold is as clear as glass in reality.
So
The
pure
real
you can
thing.
see through it.
So you can see right through it, but it's still gold.
Wow.
Untainted gold.
Untainted gold. Untainted sapphire. Untainted beryl. Untainted carborundum. Untainted ruby. So that's as close of an explanation as I can get to that. Like I said, this stuff is tough because all we have is pictures.
Filled in a lot of blanks regardless of how
Good.
tough you've been today.
All right.
Wow.
Now, let's go to verse. We skipped one. We skipped the first one because of my notes, the way I did them. Look back at verse 1.
I was wondering about that. 21-1?
Good. Yeah,
41
verse
one?
Yeah.
21
I
one.
dropped it out. I'm sorry. It was because of my notes, the way I did them.
What, 21 1?
21:1. I saw a new heaven and a new earth. The first heaven and the first earth passed away. And then it says there was no longer any sea.
Right.
Just like all the elements are dissolved,
No more
there's
water.
no more water.
Oh no.
No more sea. But what's the sea?
People.
People.
How do you know?
Because the sea
In some places
is a
it is.
multitude of people in Scripture.
Right.
In
Look
some
back
places.
at Revelation 17, verse 15. Revelation 17:15.
They got vaporized.
And he said to me, yeah,
Nuclear.
they got vaporized. The waters that you saw, and this is during the day of the Lord, the waters that you saw where the whore sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, tongues. The sea is human beings. But they're not just human beings. They're Gentile human beings. And remember, God's going to circumcise the whole world. So there will be no more Gentile
We're going
anything. So let me show you that from the Old Testament. Where does it say?
That's cool.
No more Halloween.
No more Halloween.
No more Halloween.
Where does it say in the Old Testament that the water is tongues and tribes and nations? He can't just say that. It's got to be in the Old Testament. All right, Isaiah 17.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can't just say something like that. It's got to be seen by the other prophets.
Exactly.
Because they were all taken there. They all saw it.
Isaiah 17?
Yes, sir.
Revelation.
Isaiah 17.
Isaiah 17.
Verse. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Say it again.
Revelation 17, Isaiah 17.
Well,
We
yeah,
can still
maybe.
have
No, but that's, you know,
Yeah, probably no
arbitrary.
pumpkins.
Yeah.
Or
We won't eat.
And maybe
We're
not.
not?
No?
It would be like the angels.
You know, that's a
Hey,
good
Doug.
question. Hold on, before we go do this,
Doug.
that's a really good question. All the pictures are gone in the,
Right.
in the Olam Haba, right?
Yeah.
So, we're going to have a resurrected body. We're going to be like the angels. We will not eat. Why do we eat now?
Because it's
Just to
it's
stay
good.
alive?
No, it's for worship.
No,
It's a
because
Another
it's
picture.
pictures.
It's a picture.
Food is
The
pictures.
resurrection, Jesus said he didn't have to.
Okay.
Let 'em
So
Well, he can't see.
we'll have him speaking to us. So we
He doesn't know
won't
what
be
I'm doing. That's fine. That's fine.
That's okay.
He doesn't know what I'm doing. So say what you're going to say again. Say what you're going to say.
When Jesus was resurrected, or Yeshua, well, he ate fish,
That's
but
right.
he didn't have to eat.
That's right. He ate, but he didn't have to eat.
So we can
Therefore,
also,
Ooh, how
therefore,
cool.
Hold on. Therefore, it is, guys. Therefore, food is what?
Picture,
A picture.
obviously.
In the Olam Haba, there are no more pictures.
And there will be this, but we will be sacrificing in
in the kingdom,
in the kingdom.
not in the New Jerusalem, not in the
Ah,
New
okay.
Jerusalem, not in the Olam Haba.
So only in the kingdom, but after the kingdom
Yes.
goes away in the Olam, then no more.
All the pictures are gone.
So we're just gonna be like
Sacrifices are gone.
angels?
No more Chile.
Not like that.
Aw,
You can do that if you want.
aw.
I do this because it's going to be different. Than
I
this.
know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
everybody does, huh? Because it's like, what do you picture?
What?
I don't know.
What do you picture? I don't know. I know this. I can get a tiny, 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 tiny microscopic glimpse of it through the pictures.
Okay.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
D- uh,
we're not
Doug,
gonna eat.
Doug said 17 Revelation. You said Isaiah
Isaiah
17. Now hold on. Simple gematria. 1
Oh,
plus
here we
7 equals 8.
Oh!
It goes right back. It goes right back. No,
They're
but
both in chapter 17, and 7 plus 1
equals 8, and that's what we're studying. How funny.
That's ironic.
Hey, that's Hebrew, man.
I love
That's
when-
Hebrew.
I love when you do stuff like that.
That's Hebrew.
Isaiah 17.
That's an aleph and a yod.
I love it. 17. Isaiah 17, verse 12. Alas. Oi is what it says in Hebrew.
Yeah,
Oi. Oi. The uproar
What's
of
the
many
verse?
Amim, people,
17:12.
who roar like the roaring of the seas. There it is. That's all you need, but there's more. But that's all you need.
Oi.
Who roar like the roaring of the
Oi.
seas, and the rumbling of Gentiles, who rush on like the rumbling of mighty waters. The Gentiles rumble on like the rumbling of... In case you didn't get it the first two times,
Right.
he repeats
Say
it
it
a
again.
third
Say
time.
it again.
Come on. Isaiah 17,
Ushon.
12.
Ushon.
The Gentiles, like the rumbling of the Gentiles, the noise of the
Ooh.
Gentiles to the rushing of the Gentiles. And then I'm trying to figure out what
Ooh.
you just said.
Ooh.
I just read the verse. is
I
all.
know. But,
I just read it. Read it.
Just read
but
it. That's what it says.
that's what I'm reading. It says, which makes a noise like the noise of the seas, which is
That's
the noise
it.
of the Gentiles, right?
He's saying the Gentiles equal the sea.
Okay.
He's just
Yeah.
giving a simple analogy.
Here's something
Picture.
interesting in the Hebrew word ushon. I have mine says, and to the rushing portion of it. So I see a vav, a shin, an aleph, a vav, and a nun. Nun sofit. God, I love 737s.
Okay. I'm lost.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I need to hear what you said.
I'm about to finish as soon as the sound goes.
Okay, but I didn't hear what you said.
Right.
The word
repeat it.
ushon is a
Ushon.
vav, shin, aleph,
Wait, what's Ushon? Rushing?
and to the rushing is how mine
And to
translates.
the rushing
Okay.
is Ushon.
Ushon. So if you drop the first two letters, you have an aleph, vav, nun. That's
Aleph,
the vav, nun. Avon, sin,
sin.
iniquity.
Oh!
Ain't that
my
wild?
Wow, that's good.
Okay, let me.
That's so good.
Clean it up. Clean it
Clean
up.
that up. Okay. So the word for rushing water, rushing is, what was it? What was the whole
Vav,
thing?
shin, aleph, vav, nun.
Bashon?
Ush-on.
Ushon. Ushon.
Ushon.
Okay, u is and, sh is from, basically. Ushon, well, that leaves on. Shon, ushon. So if you take away the vav and the shin at the beginning, vav is man, shin is heaven. And if you take that away,
You have nothing but sin. Wow.
you're left
That's
with
good.
avon, which is sin.
Sin.
And this is a description.
And that's exactly what.
Wow, that is
That's good,
mind-blowing.
man. That's
Her
sweet.
vav is man, shin
It's Shaddai,
is,
God.
well, it's also heaven.
Heaven.
Shemayim. is
Shemayim,
heaven.
right?
You take that away, and
Nothing
you're
but-
left with nothing but sin.
So it's like this.
That's why I know a lot
Hey,
of
it's, watch.
It's
Hold on.
It's going. That's why
No,
there's no more water.
no. Watch this. Watch this now.
That's why there's no
You
more
guys,
waters.
don't be offended now. Okay, everybody that drinks coffee doing stupid things faster.
What do you say?
Drinking coffee, you're doing stupid things faster.
Drinking coffee, you're doing stupid things faster. Why?
Because you're all speeded up.
You're stood up.
Here we got the word rushing is taking us to sin also.
Oh.
Drinking coffee, you do
Well,
stupid things
okay,
faster. I'm making a
however,
joke out of it.
However, when Abraham met the three angels,
He rushed to
he rushed
feed 'em.
to do the mitzvah.
True, he did.
He ran to get the
I
lamb.
wonder if
he
it's the same
ran
word.
to get the
Is
milk.
it the same
He
word?
ran to greet them.
Is it
He
the same
ran-
word?
Yes.
So when
no,
you drink
no,
We
it's
don't
not
know
the same
that.
word.
What's the
you-
verse where?
it is not
what
the
is
same
it?
word.
Genesis what? Genesis 12
Hold
for,
on,
for
hold
Abraham?
on.
I'll look it up.
It is not the same word, but you went to English. If you're drinking coffee, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I did. I'm just pointing
Is that the same
Hey, wordplay.
Well, then
All
let me
right,
do
all right,
it.
let's get back
Well,
on
okay,
track,
your
guys.
turn.
Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to
This
what
is
we're
too
saying.
good.
That is
Anyway.
really, really cool.
That's
cool.
That's a really good one.
So
So,
when you drink coffee, it's
No,
Just throw the coffee away.
He just.
forget the coffee.
drink coffee, you're rushing.
Let's forget the
When you
coffee.
drink coffee,
Let's
the
stick
hurry
with.
is-
Let's stick
Forget the
with-
coffee. Forget
Let's
the
stick
coffee.
with this beautiful revelation that Daniel just gave us.
Right. Yod, hey, vav, hey.
Tell me the word again and.
Ushon.
Ushon. Ushon. All right.
Man.
Let's go to
Wow.
Isaiah.
That's why we all gotta learn Hebrew, guys.
Isaiah 57.
It helps.
Isaiah
It
57.
really helps.
This is a confirming verse.
It really helps. I need help.
57:20. But the wicked are like the tossing sea. That's good enough. That's all you need. It gives you more. But
It does.
That's all you need. The wicked are like the tossing
What
sea.
verse?
57:20.
Thank you.
20. That's all I needed.
It cannot be quiet. Its waters toss up poop and mud. It can't be quiet. It has to cause trouble. It has to toss its crap up. It has to. Because that is the way of the Gentile. It has no other choice.
What verse are you
It's
in?
like the Russian Sea.
57:20. Isaiah?
And because of that, there is no shalom for the wicked.
no peace.
There's no shalom. There's no peace for the wicked. The wicked are like the tossing sea. What gives boundaries to the sea?
The earth.
The seashore.
Yeah,
What's the
sure.
seashore made out of?
Dirt.
Got it?
Sand.
Sand.
Your children will be like the sand of the sea.
Ah,
That's why the Jewish
get
people
boundaries.
are the boundaries. We are the boundaries.
Oh my gosh.
Dang,
That was
son.
good.
No, that's
That was
good.
heavy.
That is good.
I love that.
That is cool.
Jeremiah chapter 5.
That's beautiful, right?
Where was that?
That,
who
I
you are, you
can't
like
take
that.
credit for that.
I got chills.
That was given to me by my wife, Eileen.
I believe
And you
that.
know where she got it? She got it when we were thrown out of a congregation in Washington. I went there to teach for 3 days. And they said, we don't want to hear you. Stop.
Why'd you invite
You
me?
can sit and listen to us, or you can leave. It's your
leave.
choice.
I'll leave.
So I said, let me think about it.
Right.
So we went out to Puget Sound, which is where it was. Gray, dreary day. Everything was gray. We were depressed. It was horrible. And we were out there praying. My wife and I were praying on the sandbar out in the middle of the water.
Right.
And she looked around. She said, Michael, listen to this. God told Abraham that the Jews are like the sand of the sea. That's the boundaries for the water. The water keeps trying to get it up
It
on there.
can't.
and getting rid
That's
of the baggage, but they
good.
does.
That
can't.
is good.
They
Tries to get rid of
can't.
it.
And it was like, that was our encouragement.
Isn't
We
that
felt
reality?
And if you think about it, it's salt water, so it's being purified
Right.
because it's salt water.
That's right, it's purified because it's salt water.
Wow.
So that's
That's
for Eileen.
interesting.
I got to give her props for that.
That's cool.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you, Ellie.
Jeremiah,
I got it on tape. She can hear it herself that we actually.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 22. Do you not fear me? Do you not tremble at my face? For I have placed the sea as a boundary. I have placed the sand as a boundary for the sea. An eternal decree, so it cannot cross over it.
Right.
The Gentiles cannot cross over that boundary of the Jews.
They ain't gonna win. Jeremiah what?
5:22. Even though the waves toss, yet they cannot win. Though they roar, they cannot cross over it.
Oh, that is a
Isn't that awesome?
picture. Oh,
And she did that. We didn't have Bibles with us. She just
what a
remembered it.
beautiful picture.
The Holy Spirit
We
showed
need
it.
to draw that picture like.
Whoa, that
was
would
good.
be. Okay, I got it. I'm going to pray about that. That's cool. A drawing of that would be
Yes.
hard, but amazing.
Right?
Okay, we're gonna go to Revelation 21:21. Now that we've got the city defined for us, at least a little bit, we can start picturing something anyway. Verse 21. The 12 gates. What were the 12 gates? What were they? Oh, look, what were they?
Right.
So children of Israel.
What were they? What were they made out of?
Stones.
Stones. But here they changed. The 12 gates were 12 pearls. Penina. Penina means pearl, right?
Right.
Yeah,
But I thought the 12 gates were 12 stones.
right.
Hmm.
Oh.
It says were, past tense.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The whole
Never
prophecy's in past tense. The whole prophecy's in past tense.
Right?
What does that tell you?
Yeah, he was there.
And there's no time.
And he was in forever.
Right? He was in forever, and now he's come back. Told us, hey, guess what I saw?
Wow.
Yeah.
Guess what happened?
Yeah. Past tense.
Guess what happened? That's going to happen.
Okay. So I'm confused.
You missed it.
Are you confused by this?
Yeah,
Totally.
A little
That
bit.
there were 12 gates made out of 12 stones. Look back at verse. Look back at verse 11. Her brilliance was like a very costly stone, like crystal clear yashpe. It had a great high wall with 12 gates, and the gates 12 angels, and the names written on them, which are of the 12 tribes. These are the 3 gates on the east, 3 gates on the north, 3 gates. Verse 14. And the wall of the city had 12 foundation stones, and on them. So we got 12 gates that are 12 stones, and we got 12 foundation stones that are 12 stones, and now we got 12 gates that are pearls.
Wow.
Right?
So what does that mean?
Like the doors are pearls.
That the what?
Doors.
We didn't say doors. It never said doors.
Openings.
Didn't say openings.
Gates.
Gates.
They're gates.
But the gates were stones.
Stones.
Right.
So therefore,
We had no transformation.
you're still not getting it. The 12 gates are 12 stones. And it told us what the stones were.
True.
Now we have the 12 gates are 12 pearls. Therefore, the gates are,
Pearls.
and therefore the pearls are,
Stones.
right. The stones are the pearls.
Right. Stones are pearls.
But we've already been told they're not pearls. They're
Right.
jasper and carbuncle
Well,
and
So the translational
and
issue?
emerald and sardis and
then they'll be the same.
you're still not getting it.
No?
You're still not
I
getting it.
guess not.
It's simple logic. The gate. I'll let you know when I catch up to you. The gates are 12 stones. The gates are 12 pearls. Therefore, the pearls are
The stones.
how many?
12.
12.
Therefore, the pearls are stones.
But you said there were not stones anymore.
Right. They're not, but they are.
They're not, but they are. That's right.
It's Hebrew.
Remember,
Yeah, that's-
remember the closest we can get is these
Pictures.
pictures, right? So all we can do is
So
communicate.
they're like stones. They're like pearls.
But we have a scripture right here that we read that tells us the pearls are the stones.
Right.
So there's got to be something in the Old Testament that says that where you read stone, but it's not really stone, it's pearl.
Pearl. Most likely.
Does that make sense?
That would make sense. That would be there.
And then it says, don't cast away your
Technically,
Put your stones to the
technically,
swine.
technically, did you know pearl's not
Which
a
are-
stone?
It's no, it's not.
Well, no, it's not. It's not a stone at all.
It's a jewel.
But it starts from a piece of sand.
It starts
which is
with
from
sand.
stone.
I feel like we're getting lost again.
Well, go ahead.
The
Okay.
rabbi trail.
Every time I do simple logic, you guys get lost.
So
This
if
is the hardest thing
something
in the
here
world.
equates pearls to stones, then that should be from the Old Testament.
No, you're
I
lost.
hope you're lost.
You're trying to say, you're trying to think in pictures. I don't want you to do that. I want you to just,
But you don't.
don't try to figure it out. Just listen to the logic.
Right.
This thing is steel. This thing is plastic.
Right.
Therefore, this thing is what?
Steel plastic.
So there's got to be somewhere
In the Torah where
where it
equates
says
stones to
steel
pearls.
is
plastic.
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 A water bottle.
This verse says, one verse says, there's 12 gates, and they are stones. The same gates are called pearls.
Right.
Therefore, in the Old Testament, there's got to be a verse that
equates it
that
to-
says
Same thing.
stones of the stones of the city are pearls. Or you read the word stone, and it's not stone, it's what?
Pearl.
It's what?
Pearls.
You lost again.
No, they're just,
No, just.
they're not
let me just
lost.
see.
Are you
They're just
writing?
taking the notes.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Did you get that?
yeah.
Okay.
Let me guess, it was either Jeremiah or Isaiah.
Isaiah.
It's
It was
Isaiah.
a prophet.
It's Isaiah.
Is it Isaiah?
And here's what.
Oh, man.
By the way, guys, I found this totally by accident.
Accidentally.
Totally by accident. But I have a confirming midrash from Judaism to prove it.
Really?
Yeah, which is
Cool.
really cool.
That's
I found it
share,
completely.
right?
Yes, I am.
Nice.
Of course I am. All right, so we're going to Isaiah 54.
Oh,
I said 35 because I thought I had read it somewhere.
That's where I opened to.
me
Cool.
too.
No.
54?
Cool.
I went straight there, too.
34.
Wow,
54.
that's cool.
Isaiah 34.
Isaiah 54. All right, this is the one that starts out, shout for joy, O barren one, you who have borne no child. Who's it talking about?
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem, yep. And she's going to be a bride that has lots of babies.
Oh, you're good. Let's be a prophet.
Verse 12. Well, verse 11.
Oh, man.
O afflicted one, storms tossed and not comforted. Talking about Jerusalem. Behold, I will set your stones in puch, which is not antimony. Puch is like turquoise. What's your name? I forgot. Lauren?
Yes.
Lauren, the color of her dress, that's puch. And it is Judah's stone. Nafoch. Nafoch comes from puch, which is that color.
What's the rest?
Let's not worry about it. I will set your stones in that, Judah.
What
That's,
color is that again?
it's turquoise. It's like turquoise. Like a bluish green. And don't miss that. I will set your foundation, I will set your stones in Nafoch or Puch, which is Judah's stone. Judaism. I will set your stones in the Jews, basically.
Isaiah 54?
Isaiah 54:11.
Oh, 54.
And your foundations, remember we read that it had foundation stones, 12 foundation stones, I will lay in sapphire. Sapphire. That's heaven.
Similar stone in it?
Uh-huh. So what he said, look at me please. What he said is, I will set your stones, all of your stones, in Puch, the
Oh.
Jews. Judaism.
Judah. Yeah.
Judaism, Judah, the stone for Judah. And I will set your foundations
In
in sapphire, which is heaven.
heaven.
So you got Upper Jerusalem and Lower Jerusalem.
Awesome.
And they match. One's below, one's above. Judaism is below, heaven is above.
That's what he was talking about. It's a code.
And by the way, I just saw that just now.
Yeah.
I never saw that before
Wow.
until just now when I looked at your dress. And then he says, Moreover, I will make your battlements as walls. It's the walls, thick walls of. Now, the way it translates it is crystal or rubies, and your gates of. And here's what we're looking for. Some translate it carbuncle. Some translate it. What do you have? Garnet.
Garnet,
Some
yeah.
translate it something else. What do you got?
I'm okay, she said pearl.
12
Doing 12?
Crystal. All right. So they all either translated crystal or carbuncle, at least what we've got. It's not even close to that in Hebrew.
Ekdak.
Yes, it's ekdach. Ekdach, which comes from the verb in Hebrew, kadad. You know what it means?
Set apart.
Pearl?
It means to shrink, to bend over on itself, to constrict on
Diamond.
itself.
That's what a diamond is.
Kinda like a clam
coal and a diamond. Because I mean, it's so much pressure on a coal, it turns into a diamond.
Well, this word ekdach is, they translate it, all different kinds of translations, but nobody knows what it is because it's something constricted and bowed into itself. Doesn't sound like a pearl, right?
No.
Doesn't sound like a diamond, doesn't sound like anything.
I mean, that's what a clam does.
But that's where it comes from. So, listen to this. I got this. I saw that and I went, wait a minute. What's the ultimate bending in on itself? What's
Fusion.
a sphere? A sphere.
Black
Right?
hole.
No, a sphere. If you pull everything in on itself,
It's going to be rounded.
fusion. You said fusion, yes?
I did say fusion.
Okay, atomic fusion, the reason it works is because you have a bunch of explosives on a sphere, a spherical
Right.
bomb. And there's lots of explosions all the way around, 360 degrees around, and they all go off simultaneously and compress those elements into a sphere. And then poof, it flies out. Well, my dad used to work on those bombs, by the way, on those 360 degree bombs on the spheres. He used to do that with his bare hands. They didn't even have protection. And they had radium in there. They had uranium-235 and plutonium. That's where he got his cancer from.
Right.
So, if you implode everything on itself, it doesn't turn into a cube.
No.
It turns
It's going to be
into
round.
a perfect sphere. And so when I read that, I said, its gates will be ekdach. I pictured immediately the only
Rounded jewel.
natural gem that we have, which is a pearl. That's what I pictured. And I was like, wow, I wonder if that's true. And then I read this. It's going to freak you out. Rabbi Yochanan was interpreting this verse as meaning the Holy One will bring out gems and pearls, hollowed out to a space of 10 by 20 cubits to set them up as the gates of Jerusalem. Gems and pearls.
Right. Interesting.
Gems and pearls. Because the gems are the pearls. The pearls are the gems. These are in this verse.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
To create a hollowed out space. Is that not amazing? I got chills.
It's too crazy.
So, I mean, this, more than any other verse in Revelation 21, tells me the best we can do is pictures.
Yeah.
It's just the best you can do. And even that's insufficient.
Sure.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
There it is.
Ekdach. Ekdach.
How do you spell that?
E-K-D-A-C-H.
But in Hebrew, it's Aleph, Vav.
And if you keep reading here,
I'll
if
tell
you
you.
keep reading here, in Isaiah 54, it lays the kingdom right over the New Jerusalem.
Aleph, Kuf, Dalet, Het.
It lays the kingdom right over the New Jerusalem. And it just keeps that picture going. And it sort of one bleeds into the other. All right, let's finish up. Revelation 21. Verse 23. And the city has no need of the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God has lit it up, and its menorah is the Lamb. Its menorah is the lamp. I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about just the simple thing of there's no need for the sun or the moon. Just that. Isaiah 60. Have you ever thought about that? That the menorah is the lamb? The menorah
No,
is
it's
the
just-
Messiah?
Whenever I talk about the menorah
No, I haven't.
and the tabernacle, I
So
always
he's the one
compare
that
it to
lights it
Yeshua.
up?
He's the light of the world, and he just shines on
But the
bright.
lamb as the lamb.
I haven't thought about
Okay.
that.
All right, Isaiah 60, verse 14. And the sons of those who afflicted... Sorry, verse 19. No longer will you have the sun for light by day, nor for brightness will the moon give you light, but you will have the Lord for an olam, an or ha'olam, or
The light
ha'olam,
forever.
the light forever.
Wow.
Wow, wow.
Your sun will no more
Can you
wane.
picture that?
No, I can't. I can't.
PB all lit up.
Your sun will set no more, neither will your moon wane, for you will have the Lord for an or ha'olam. It says it twice.
So no
It says it
months
twice. Why do you think it says it twice?
to
Emphasis?
get our attention.
One's in
Oh,
the
one's the
king-
sun, one's the moon.
No, one's in the kingdom, one's the forever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Pictures on top of pictures. Okay, back to Revelation 21, verse 24. And the nations will walk by its light. I thought there were no more nations.
Right. Because they're gone.
Oh, this must be in
The kingdom.
seventh day.
No, this is in the kingdom. I mean, this is in the New Jerusalem. Right. It's confusing, isn't it?
Okay. Gotta
The
watch.
nations will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth. How can there be kings of the earth if there's
Just
no
talking
more
about now?
nations, no more kings, no more Gentiles? Shall bring their glory into it. Okay, so I'm so glad you're confused, because it is the kingdom, and it is the New Jerusalem.
Oh, bleeding.
It's going to bleed,
Gotta
one's
be.
going to bleed right into
That's
the
what I
other.
figured.
Yeah. All right, this is in Isaiah 60 again.
Because there's no time, you've just seen so much.
Yeah, yeah. Isaiah 60, verse 3. The nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes round about and see. They all gather together. They all come to you, to the Jews. Your sons will come from afar, and your daughters will be carried in arms. This is definitely the kingdom.
It's almost parallel.
Yes, yes, this is the kingdom. Then you will see and be radiant, and your heart will thrill and rejoice, because the abundance of the what will be turned to you. What does it say? The abundance of what will be turned to
I'm
you?
thinking nations.
What does it say?
Glory.
What verse?
What?
Verse 5.
60, verse 3.
Verse
Start
5.
at 3, go to 5.
Of the sea.
The nations.
Mine says
The abundance of the sea will be turned to you. There is no more sea, and we already know the sea is the Gentiles.
Yeah.
This is talking about all the wealth, all the stuff, all the glory, all the beauty of the Gentiles will be brought from the Gentile nations to Jerusalem during the kingdom, and then that's
Oh,
going
I
to be
see.
somehow
Because all the
bigger
stuff that
in
got
the
stolen
New
over
Jerusalem.
at the
And that's
destruction
the-
of the temples.
The riches of the
That
seas
is-
will be brought to you, the
and
wealth of
that
the
is-
nations will come to you.
And there's another verse that says that stuff comes to us, right?
Well, we just
That,
read it. It's
that
right
verse,
Yeah.
hold on, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
There's a verse that Christians love to quote
Oh, yeah.
that says,
Wealth
how
of the
does it
sinners
say?
laid up for
The
The
righteous.
wealth of the sinners laid up for the righteous.
Right.
This is the same concept. It's not talking about you're going to get rich now. It's talking about that in the kingdom, all the glory of all the Gentile nations will be brought to Jerusalem.
It says that. Oh, that's beautiful. It says it right there.
Yes, it
To
does.
Jerusalem, not necessarily us.
The wealth of the nations will come to you. A multitude of, and by the way, it gives a bunch of details here. It talks about camels and young camels and gold and frankincense and flocks, rams. Look at verse 7. All the flocks of Kedar will be gathered together. The rams of Nebaioth will minister to you. They will go up with acceptance. They're going to walk up on their own on my altar, and I shall glorify my glorious house.
Right.
So all the stuff is going to be brought to Jerusalem. And then it just gets bigger in the New Jerusalem.
So El Paso will stay barren, is what you're saying. Sadly.
Isaiah 49. Wait. Look at verse 11 before we go. Verse 11, this is to prove to you that it goes into the New Jerusalem. And your gates will be open continually. That's what it says in Revelation about the New Jerusalem.
Right.
Your gates will be open continually. They will not be closed day or night, so that men may bring to you the wealth of the Gentiles, with their kings led in procession. So this is hard to picture if you're talking about the New Jerusalem, because there are no Gentiles, there are no nations, there are no things, there are no pictures, there are no money. So it's obviously talking about something else. But what it is, I couldn't tell you. I can only tell you what the picture is. Isaiah 4, keep your, well, we don't even need to. We don't even need to. Isaiah 49. I did these two verses back. I should have done this one first and then gone to Isaiah 60. Isaiah 49, 18. Lift up your eyes and look around, all of them together. They will gather, they come to you. As I live, declares the Lord, they shall surely put on all of them. You shall surely put on all of them, all this Gentile nations, as jewels, and bind them on like a bride. So this is the New Jerusalem being decorated, adorned, right, adorned with all the stuff, whatever that is. All right, and then the very, very last one. Let's go back to Isaiah 60. Go back to Isaiah 60, verse 11. We're going to read it again. And your gates will be open continually. They will not be closed day or night, so that men may bring to you the wealth of the Gentiles, with their kings led in procession. Now go to Revelation 21, verse 25.
Got it.
And in the daytime, for there will be no night there, its gates shall never be closed. There it is. So you can see it bleed right from the kingdom into the New Jerusalem. There will be no night. Why is there no night? Wait. Let me back up and ask it differently. Why was the sun and the moon created?
For time for
day and night.
To
To set the
to
Moedim.
set time.
As a picture.
Right. To set times. To set times.
Right.
In the New Jerusalem,
There's no time.
don't need it anymore.
I need it.
Interesting. That's cool.
Neat.
No more time.
That's cool.
Yes, that's right. Time was given for us.
That's right.
That's for us. That's right. For man's needs. All right. And that's,
Well, there you go, guys.
that's cheshvan. The month in which there is nothing.
Okay. That was a whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
Hey.
Huh? Yeah. We also have a pumpkin challah.
Oh, good.
Pumpkin hollow?
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for your addition.
Pumpkin hollow.
Hey, I said you were.